Hello there, Internet. MegaMogwai here, and I got yet another Legends of Runeterra video for guys today. I'm bringing you the counter to Mono-Shurima, amongst quite a few, because before we actually get into the deck, I actually want to showcase the leaderboards here, because I kind of want to talk a little bit about something. Like, if we go not to where I'm at, like if we go to the top 8 of the ladder, right? Because I saw in yesterday's video, everybody on Twitter and in my own comment sections and just everywhere that I've seen on social media, everybody's just like, you know, freaking out about Mono-Shurima, right? Even though I'm known to, I always voice, you know, my opinions and my complaints when a certain archetype is actually proven to be really established and oppressive, toxic, or overpowered, etc. Like, I never shy away from that. But if you followed me, for a while, you know that at this point you should know that I never advocate for crying, you know, OP day one, right? I find it a little bit annoying how some, you know, not just content creators, but some pro players as well, and just some players that I see on my feed, like, tend to really go hard on this, and I guess they're trying to hype up certain things, right? But I feel like we have a lot of that in Legends of Runeterra. People just absolutely freaking out about a deck day one. Sometimes it's true, you know, quite a few times with Azir Aurelia, stuff like that, you can tell. But in this case, I do feel like Mono-Shurima, while definitely a very strong deck, don't get me wrong, I think it's really strong, I don't think it's the best deck in the game like many people are claiming. And I think it has certain weaknesses, and it's, you know, too early to tell. And we've seen that in the past with Iceborne Poros, the Iceborne Legacy Daring Poro deck that was really, like, hugely, massively popular at first, and then it just kind of like faded away as the meta settled, right? If we look at the top 8 of Masters rank, let's take a look at what the players who are at the very high end of the ladder are playing, right? We have Yoros in Arms, Bandle Tree, Lee Sin with Bandle City, Yoros in Arms, Yoros in Arms! Oh my god! I couldn't have figured. Oh, that was so shocking. Echo, which, you know, shout out to Salty Simon for being the edgy boy here, and Yoros in Arms. You know, it turns out Yoros in Arms is still pretty busted, and, you know, yeah, like, yeah, I think, I mean, it's early to say, right? Like, but I do believe, like I said yesterday, I think the deck is nuts. Don't get me wrong, I think it's really strong, but I do think it's a little bit overrated. And just because it's not overpowered doesn't mean that it couldn't be potentially problematic, because there is a legitimate argument for the fact that it is built around landmarks, right? And there's very little interaction with said landmarks, and it really exacerbates the issue with landmark design in Legends of Runeterra. But I just really want to advocate for us, like, you know, chilling for a little bit, because like, I got so many comments just absolutely despising the deck, and I think you know, just let it be a thing at least for a few days, and then, you know, it's also just very popular right now, right? Like, and then let's see how it actually turns out. I do still expect it to be really strong, but I do think there are ways to prey on it, and today's deck is all about that. It's Omaiwamu perfection, because we are using Viktor with Draven and Ambush as a win condition. I built this deck day 1 of the new patch, and it's actually the deck that I played the most off camera. I played a little bit of Mono-Shurima. My Mono-Shurima deck arguably was not as optimized as others, because I didn't really spend too much time on the archetype because everybody else was playing it, so I just kind of wanted to get a video out of it to just get it out of the way, because I never like playing what everybody's playing, right? But I did focus a lot on this deck, and I'm really excited to bring it, because I was very excited to showcase Viktor. I feel like the best way to play Viktor, or the most efficient way to play Viktor right now in this metagame environment, is not with Targon, but with Noxus. A lot of decks go all in on Viktor, right? Like, especially a lot of Targon variants that try to go slower and build up the Viktor game plan while synergizing with your invokes that help him level up. But I do feel like Viktor really excels with Noxus. There are some variants running around with Riven, but I feel like this one is less it's less combo reliant and more consistent overall. I really like Viktor with Draven, because the axes that Draven generates do promote Viktor's level up and also trigger the augment as well. Riven's spells do that as well, but they cost 1 mana. And the difference between 0 and 1 mana is actually really huge. And I feel like Draven is overall more flexible in that regard, as the axes can allow us to synergize better with cards like Fallen Rider and make good use of our discard mechanics, as we are running a full set of Zana Yurkin and a full set of some Dredger. So we have a discard mid-range list that can be pretty aggressive thanks to a really solid set of 2-drops here with the Ballistic Bot, Baboon, and Rider. As we apply pressure, we deal damage, and then we attempt to burn the opponent in the late game or finish them off with Ambush, or a combination of both, right? Ambush onto Ballistic Bot or Viktor is extremely threatening, and that is what we're aiming for. And Ambush is extremely easy to enable with Viktor, because Viktor is giving you a hex score upgrade at the beginning of every round, which means that the requirement for Ambush is automatically met at the start of said round. And the same goes for Ballistic Bot. And the Augment keyword really benefits from this, as we can get some very high power stats and avoid blocklers by giving them elusive. It's a very, very neat combo, and I really like it in this deck, because what this deck can do is it can essentially race Mono-Shurima, go over them in the late game with Ambush and or burn them down. And instead of running a full set of Decimate, we're playing a full set of Aftershock. People were asking me when I was talking about this deck on Twitter, why are you not playing Scorched Earth? Well, because Scorched Earth doesn't do anything besides kill landmarks in this deck. Like, it doesn't make any sense. Aftershock is essentially a weaker, weaker version of Decimate. Instead of dealing 4 damage, it's dealing 3 damage, but it's dealing 3 damage to potentially a unit, which can be really clutch in certain scenarios, and it helps us destroy the Buried Sun Disk if they don't apply the Soothsayer onto it. If they apply Soothsayer and they give the Buried Sun Disk Spell Shield, then your game plan becomes to race them. Like, it doesn't mean it's over. Yeah, don't get discouraged. Like, it is very, very, very much winnable if you apply pressure and try to find ways, get creative with your discard combinations, and try to build up a board that can break through the opponent's blockers as efficiently as possible, deal as much damage as you can with your early unit aggression, and then start burning them down, and then Omaiwamu, face with a shitload of damage, as that is essentially what we're going for, since I do believe Swim's version of Mono-Shurima, if I actually recall correctly, there is something that I do think it's very optimized. He spent like all day playing it on stream, and I think it's very neat, but I think there's one big mistake in his deck. Just one thing that I would nitpoint, and that is he's prioritizing Scrying Sands over Quicksand. And this is a massive mistake, because that means that this deck effectively has no answer for Ambush. It gets hard countered by Ambush, because by not running Quicksand in the deck, they cannot stop an elusive proc, and thus it is a very safe option to go for lethal against them, because he is running a couple of Rite of Negations to try to stop units like that. So the deck without Quicksands is significantly more vulnerable to this, and if you're running into Swim's version, this deck will completely counter it and beat it with ease. I gave this to Gabby on stream. She used it on stream yesterday, and she essentially went undefeated against Mono-Shurima with it. So it is a very, very, very effective counter, and regardless of whether you're able to remove the Buried Sun Disk or not. And it's a great way to showcase Viktor, and I just really like it, man. I like Viktor in this environment. I like Viktor being a part of a deck where, he's a strong component of it and could potentially be a win condition, but the entire deck doesn't always revolve entirely around him, which is, I think Viktor is already an all-in champion enough on his own, right, as you're building him up slowly. It's nice to have him in a more aggressive version that can make use of the fact that he's just a very solid 4-drop, especially now with the buff. And it has a very, very neat combo on top of that. So, yeah, I'm going to stop rambling, because today's deck tech was quite long, but I wanted to talk about that earlier, and hopefully you guys don't mind. So, yeah, pretty proud of this deck. I think it works out pretty nice, and I got some sick games. Really happy with how I played today, honestly, and I think you guys will enjoy. So let me know what you guys think. Try out the decks yourselves. Have a swell day. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned for daily Legends of Runeterra content. I'll see you guys tomorrow. And, of course... I was like so certain that my first game was going to be against Mono-Shurima. Like, I had no doubts. Alright, we have a pretty decent hand here. We can try to play some pressure with the Fallen Rider, even though Rockhopper is a bit annoying, that's for certain. But this is a hand that we generally keep. Because if they, like, them having Rockhopper... is a bit of an issue, not gonna lie. We're not gonna play the Daring Poro. The reason why we're not gonna play Daring Poro is because on turn 3 we wanna be able to potentially aftershock this, and we're gonna play the Risen Rider. Okay, they're playing Swim's Origin, I believe, with the predicts. We're gonna play the Risen Rider here because if they don't have Rock Copper on curve, which they may not, we can start applying a lot of damage. Good, nice hit off on them, and now we can try to aftershock. You know, they could have double rider negation. Okay, perfect.
Wash away all the troubles.
Well, we tried.
Time for the main event.
I'm gonna develop both of these. I'm gonna try to apply pressure.
Come out and play.
Keep your distance.
Okay, so I do want to keep the Whirling Death enabled. So I think Ballistic Bot is a good option, but I do actually like the... Boom Baboon, because it gives me the ability to make a blocker here. Sorry, create a Flame Chompers that can enable a blocker. So I can do that, I can play the Daring Poro. And then I can still enable this. I can go for Spinning Axe with survival skills, and I can still Whirling Death. They don't swing here, which is really interesting. We're gonna open swing like this. Because, yeah, they may have protected the Berry Sun Disc, but I think they invested a lot of resources in enabling this, and, you know, it's not like they had much momentum to develop champions anyways. Like, these Ellis Devouts, them being champions or not, wouldn't have really made a difference for this particular scenario here. What matters is that we get them down to range for Aftershock. Because we're not really receiving much pressure ourselves. I mean, there's no way they kill us next round, right? Like, they cannot play both champions this round. So there's no reason, like, if this attack, if they have any sort of, like, way to prevent the damage. I already have lethal in hand, so I think I just gotta take it as it is. They got no healing, unless they're running the 2-mana drain spell, which would be a pretty crazy surprise, but even then, that doesn't put him out of double Aftershock range. Like, this already sets the deal. Like, this is too much damage.
I will fashion this world in my image.
We just Aftershock directly. We play Poro.
Flesh was weak, but look at me now.
We drop this, which may force him to go for a Rite of the Arcane that they have in hand to kill it, because this Ballistic Bot itself represents lethal. Because I don't want to have to resort to, yeah.
Pitiful.
Alright. Because Rite of Negation is still a thing, right?
Limited power. Mine to control. The waters flow once more. Tell the people what you have seen today. Witness glory eternal.
Rider of the Arcane is very dangerous here. But right now, this attack, okay, so we block. I mean, they can drag this and this with their weakest units. So us blocking Mir, he's 5, 5, 15. That's a lot of potential damage. It's a lot of potential damage. It comes down to if they have Rite of Negation in hand or not. Unless I develop you. Developing you actually allows me to survive for now. Yeah, the Boom Baboon allows me to live here. I just need to go down a little bit. Down under. Beautiful. Doesn't make any sense.
The order is given.
Yeah, playing the Boom Baboon gives us an extra blocker at burst speed. And them going under.
In Shurima's name.
Means we knock him out. Got him. Got him! Got him, baby. Actually, no, I have no champions left. Like the old time. Okay, I guess we're in a game. And the music is out. That's really strange. Aftershock will keep the Boom Baboon with the Poro Cannon. Yeah, we have a bit of a bug here as we're going up against Azir. It's interesting. Yeah, that's very anticlimactic to have a match with like the in-game music. But I guess that's what we're gonna have. I want my dynamic, epic music here. What the fuck, man? So they're playing Azir, like somebody that's hopeful that Azir will actually be relevant in a deck like this.
Ready, willing, and learning.
Go start, bro. I think I'm gonna go some treasure. I'm gonna target the Lost Soul.
Men die, but Shurima lives forever.
Whatever. Alright, we're gonna chill here. I can always resort to Flame Chompers at burst speed. But right now, I don't feel... I just feel like I need to establish a little bit of pressure
My
here.
name echoes through every rock, every canyon.
I could play Twin Blade Revenant, but I want to get Viktor in there at this point.
With utmost efficiency.
All on the shoulders.
Your Emperor commands.
Okay, that thing's getting thick. I mean, this is a pretty good blocker to have. Because it can trade into any of the two attackers. I think we just block with Viktor on one of these.
Construct.
I could also use the Flame Chompers to stall out some damage. I think that's decent, honestly.
perfection.
See what we get. Regeneration. That's beautiful. That's beautiful.
Publish or perish.
If they have something, I mean, if they have a shapestone, that just sucks. But otherwise, we actually get to bring this back, which is really neat.
Genius in action.
Maybe we can get a spell shield to protect around there. That's faded, right?
Steady your heart. Find your beat.
Shurima is sand and sky, past and present. The order is given. The Emperor commands.
It's a big hit. I think we trade you here. We prevent all that damage. Let's think about things here. Like we're trying to find an opening here and go with Viktor. I'm worried about them like recalling Viktor though.
The human mind takes time. Metal is perfection.
Okay, so we have the ambush. We're trying to go for a Viktor win condition here. Spawning 2 of these allows us to trade Boom Baboon into it though.
Coming at ya.
It's fine, I can always trade you.
And punch!
Okay. It's so anticlimactic with this music. Like this, it's a pretty intense moment actually. I'd like my tunes.
Emperor commands.
We can trade like this. We can take 3 damage, I think.
Glorious sacrifice. Genius.
That tough is really neat. I'm just worried about a recall.
The order is given.
Okay, but it doesn't quite work like that. I'm not sure if they were aware. I don't think they were. I kind of want to destroy their Emperor's Days. But this is like 10 damage that we have here. Like, if we can go for an ambush... Like, maybe the way to go is to just...
Genius in action.
Because I can attack with this. No. No, that's not happening. The question is, what do I let go of? What do I let go of? Poro Cannon? I guess at this point, Viktor's death ray, right? They got greedy.
So much lost.
They got greedy. I'm gonna go with the ambush. And I'm gonna attack. They could have an Arise. But even if they do, they have to trade with that. So I'm still gonna drag this, just in case. They have an Arise from Azir, because that forces them to trade with Azir onto this. Yeah.
Your Emperor commands.
Still drop him down to 9. But no longer have lethal there with that. Lifesteal, that's huge.
The sunbrock got me good.
Stand down.
Now they have another homecoming. I can counter that with get excited. As long as it's not the slow speed spell that recalls me, like that's what I'm most worried about here. That's why I never want to go under and leave myself open for it, because we still have to get excited, but we're close. Like having another ambush here just makes Viktor into a huge win condition.
When rhythm takes hold, there's no time to fear.
It is time. Inferior construct.
I'm worried about them having one now, though. But we're gonna block like this. Okay. Really want to get that spell shield, because as long as I get that spell shield, I mean, they definitely don't have anything, because otherwise I think that they would have homecoming at this point. What's the best play here? I mean, I definitely could just try to fish for lethal here. But it needs to be specific.
A great mind must never idle.
What else am I gonna discard here?
I have the best job.
Remember our ancestors and fight for those who came before us. We said we'd dance together again someday.
If we had known it would be like this.
At this point, I don't have to worry about that. I can just try to hit this. And then go for the ambush.
You hoping they'll die of boredom?
It's clearly the way.
Out with the old.
She's the biggest threat by far. And we have the surprise spinning axe. And we can actually use the axe onto Viktor with the faded. There's no way that can kill me. Any health, any damage that I take, I get right back. I got regeneration. I got lifesteal. I am perfection, bitch. Perfection. And everything as I open attack with the ambush will be able to be killed by get excited. So even if they top deck a homecoming, they clearly, unless they have a twin disciplines in hand, this Viktor attack is gonna go for it. I'm going with everything anyways. I'm swinging for the fences anyways. This music sucks, but this game's awesome. Let's go. Get that upgrade. On my remote. Perfectio.
Focus. Focus. Oh, you're in for it.
Am I?
Focus. Focus. Oh, you're in for it. Focus. Focus.
Focus all you want. The problem is not right here. It's here.
faithless creature.
Oh, you're in.
Those are some really bad trades for him. I mean, do they have an answer for Viktor? They must, right? Or are they just trolling me?
Addition.
Focus. Focus.
Booyah! Let's go! 2 Azirs, 2 victories. Got him, baby. Let's get that quote. Come on. Yeah. All you, Draven. Viktor Mirror. As was facing Viktor Riven. Survival skills can be really good here, actually, for some trades. It can be very strong, especially defensively, with Draven on curve. I want to keep this entire hand. It's pretty neat. Having Ballistic Bot. Access to Portal Cannon is always really neat as well.
Anything helps.
Okay, they have one insane opener, though. I mean, that means we're going to have to lead off with Boom Baboon here, so we can trade into that. Because bot just won't do it. But a 3-1 stat line is definitely very annoying for them. Ooh, okay.
I was born in battle and raised by war.
We just completely halt their attack. I could even use Draven here.
It's Draven time.
To bait them into attacking with Draven. Yep, exactly. We block here. We go for the survival instincts onto Draven.
This is gonna hurt.
For you. We get another axe, and we get to knock out Ribbon.
Finally,
Yeah, get the fuck out of here. You know, the Awakened cinematic? I changed the plot. And now I could develop you. I could develop double bot. Double bot seems actually pretty neat. If they play Viktor, they want to play Viktor this round, then Fallen Rider applies a lot of pressure. We can't deal with Fallen Rider and Draven at the same time, and we can always get rid of the offensive blocker that way. I think the best way to approach things is this. I think no matter what, we want to go for the Fallen Rider, but we want to surprise them with it, I think. So I believe leading off with Ballistic Bot
Witness perfection.
is better. And now we do this. Powers are augment anyways.
To serve the greater good.
Axes coming right up.
Don't need to attack with this. Not much of a point doing that.
Carry your own gear.
Okay, so if they're gonna Mystic Shot here,
Can you improve perfection?
I'm gonna Axe here, so I can level up Draven.
And I thought I was already perfect.
It's got a sick ass level up with the Ruination skin, in my opinion.
I'm ready.
That 1 health doesn't matter too much in this matchup because I can still Mystic Shot him. But I really want that Overwhelm, and I want every Draven that I draw now will be leveled up, which is pretty neat, especially with these bots. I can start making use of these axes. We have mana advantage over our opponent as well, and they're just going down with that. I kind of just want to lead off with this. Maybe drop a Poro, because I do want to Ignition here. With this, I can block into the Twin Blade Revenant. I think this is fine. I think we take this hit.
Humanity is obsolete. Can you improve perfection? Safety disengaged.
Let's boogie.
I am the future.
Could easily have a get excited in hand, which is why
You hoping they'll die of boredom?
committing to the ambush is a little bit iffy. Maybe is what I need to do, because double block here, maybe we're only representing 8 damage, and we can get that up a little bit higher, but is that worth it? Pushing 6, I mean, it's a lot of damage, but then they just shift there. Yeah, I don't think ambush is worth it here. I think I need to be better. Okay, that's an interesting series of blocks here, because we can now resort to this. Onto this. We're gonna gas with these then. I think we...
Perfection.
I think I want to keep... I want to preserve the body.
To serve the greater good.
Prime and ready. With utmost efficiency. Yes, of course.
Just don't get lifesteal, is what I'm asking for.
Analyzing approach.
Okay. We're at 12 health. I think that should be fine, considering they have a limited amount of mana here. We always have this to develop. Okay, Viktor, there's really neat.
Flesh is a weakness we must shed. Metal is perfection. Analyzing approach.
I'm trying to go for some insane damage, but fortunately we have this too. We applied on this unit. Hopefully, don't have a might as well. Nice. Or a reckoner too. But I mean, if they have a reckoner, we have a daring poro. So keeping that daring poro is actually could be crucial if they have a Minotaur reckoner here. Spell shield, very nice. Yes.
Noxus will pay for what they did to us.
Holy shit. Holy shit. That there, keeping that daring poro was everything. Everything. Sometimes you're too focused on thinking on offense. And you don't think enough about defense. And that could have been a very, very easy loss there. They cry uncle, baby. Let's go, bro. Let's play. Oh, okay. All you, Drew. This time was for you.